Ago now. Wow, time does fly. 29.8 degrees. I win. Literally, weatherman said 22 degrees today. Barbara said 27. Believe me, I said 30 degrees. It is 30.1. I'm taking it out today, and I'm going to end the week the way I started, all the way through, winning on the temperature. Believe me, Barbara doesn't stand a chance this week. I've got my sleeves rolled up. I really have. Monday, February 14th. Nice to have everybody along, and let me do this.
Galaxy 107
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, now we are proud to associate ourselves with...
Ladies and gentlemen, today's artists on Galaxy 107 FM. Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music Airwatcher.
That's right, believe me, today I'm absolutely excited. Believe me, this was supposed to happen a number of months ago. It really was. I think somewhere along the lines there was a few internet problems and it didn't happen. So today we're finally getting it done. Stirling John is in the house. Yes, he's joining us finally, and believe me, so very elated to do it. Let's take a stand.
Did you feel?
Oh, Tina's online. Very cool. How many cities today?
523.
Wow, that's not bad. 523 cities around the world are tuned in right now.
Very good. Very good.
Very cool. Now, Sterling, I'm not going to go down the road of being a police officer or anything like that because it's about you. It's about you as an artist and a songwriter, performer, and your music. But I got to say, most respected. I really do respect the job that you have. Believe me.
You're a tough one as well, especially these days. So
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know what's been happening over there, especially with these truckers and stuff like that. Not a good time. So we're not going to go down that road. But I heard your Prime Minister had a stroke the other day.
This is where the humor comes out, right?
Yep, yes, real dark.
He would have had a second one, but his wife pushed his hand away.
Oh.
I'll go on.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
What
what.
time is it over there right now?
It is 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. What is it, after 1 o'clock over there?
Yeah, 3:19 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Oh, okay, 3 o'clock, of course. Yeah.
You're thinking of BC time.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of BC. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, they're an
Because
hour.
we were just there. By the way, Kevin Fye says hello. He knows you apparently. He's done a bit of work in Saskatchewan where you were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Saskatchewan. You know what? There's a few provinces I wouldn't want to work, and that's Saskatchewan. And, you know, Alberta is just a great province, and where I'm at here around Edmonton is incredible. So Saskatchewan's flat. There's not much happening over there except some tumbleweeds.
Okay, fair enough. You're not with the Mounties, are you?
Yeah.
You are with the
Oh,
Mounties.
so you can see the
Okay.
time happen.
Okay, so do you guys still sing I Am Calling You?
No. I'm singing Take a Stand and Believe and Distance and most importantly, Young Love.
Fair enough. Believe me. Do you still have the red tunics? The cheese hats?
We do, yeah.
Fantastic.
The tunics, yeah.
Quite sexy,
That is
now,
cool.
wouldn't
No, the girls think that that's really sexy.
You know what's funny is Canada is such a vast country, and I grew up in Ontario, so I didn't really know much about the tunics and the Mounties and all that sort of thing because the provincial police of jurisdiction in Ontario is the Ontario Provincial Police. But
sorry, Sterling, I've got to cut in here. We're just running out of time, so let's do this. We'll finish that in a minute. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, in association of course with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard, today we're being caught up with Stirling John. Now believe me, you know Stirling, we play him like crazy. We get so many requests for Stirling, and it is time to get the skinny behind Stirling John. It really, really is. At the same time, want to give a shout out to Cheryl Schofield. Absolutely love you, Cheryl. We really, really do. And Sterling, I heard not so long ago, welcome to Galaxy, by the way. I heard not so long ago that you and Brendan Lorenzo went off down to Music City.
we sure did, yeah. We went with our manager, Cheryl Schofield, and you already said it. She's an incredible lady, and she puts a lot of work in.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun down there. We got a lot of stuff done with music writing. And Brendan Lorenzo is just an incredible artist, you know. So I think he's got a new song coming out here in the next couple of days.
Something like that, yeah, absolutely. I think we're expecting it, aren't we, Barbara? But having said that, my friend, absolutely love, of course, Music City and everything that happens down there. Did you record anything while you were there?
Yeah, no, I record primarily here in Calgary and Edmonton, and it was just a good writing experience, and we performed down there at the Lucky Bastard Saloon with Donnie Lee. So yeah, no, it was just a great, quick trip down to Nashville.
And believe me, I hope Brendan didn't lead you astray at any stage.
No, he's a straight shooter, that guy. He went down there for work, and we got her done. So
yeah, believe me, I've got my work cut out with Brendan when he comes here to New Zealand. I really do. Having said that, and I'm going to talk to you about maybe doing touring very, very shortly, but first of all, I do have a fan question for you from Elise coming out of of all places, Alberta, Canada. Would you believe that? Elise is asking, now as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? And do you reply?
yes, well, you know what's good about in 2022, it is all social media led. I am found on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Amazon Music, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So people do message to my Facebook music account, Stirling John Music. Thankfully, my music manager helps me really get back to people. It's so extremely busy, and I do try my very best to get back to everybody and answer their questions the best that I can. So sometimes I'm gone out of the area for a week at a time, and Cheryl, my manager, will help me with response to people's questions, and I also try to follow up as well when I'm back in front of in my office and my computer too. So I just do the best I can.
Very, very cool. Yeah, believe me, I don't reply. Literally, we get that many. I have a Barbara for that. You know what I mean? So believe me, the work that Cheryl does, spot on. Absolutely fantastic. Everybody needs a Cheryl. Everybody needs a Barbara, literally. And I couldn't live without Barbara doing what she does for me here at Galaxy. So believe me, if you're going to text me, don't ever expect me to reply, because I just don't. I really don't. Never find the time. Tina is online. Nice to have you on board, Tina. Love to Angel and the rest of the family. I hope you're feeling a little better than you were a week or so ago, a little under the weather. So all the best for you guys. Now, having said that, we opened up the show with Take a Stand, Sterling.
Yeah.
Give me the skinny on this. Tell me about the lyrics.
This was an incredible song that was really derived from a first-hand experience back in 2007, 2008. It started from a situation that I witnessed on the job as a police officer in Lethbridge, Alberta. And it was just one of those calls where, you know, you're rolling up on a vehicle that's somebody's living out of the back of their truck. And I can say as a first responder, and I can say this for many of us, we join to make a change in people's lives for the better. And whether it's helping someone get them directed into social services in a good way, or a flat tire on the side of the road, and you pull your police car in behind and you offset it so that people slow down, and you help those people change their tire so they can get on in a safe way. That's what it's all about. And sometimes it's those little things in your shift that really give you the fulfillment and reassurance of why you are a police officer during a day. Because sometimes there's moments where you just can't look back at the end of the day, and whether somebody spit on you or hit you or what have you, those aren't necessarily the best of moments. But it's these moments, going back to Lethbridge, where the homeless man that I dealt with, he was a veteran. And, you know, this is a man who served his country, and, you know, whether it was a path in his life, I don't fully know, whether it's a divorce or whether it's falling into addictions. You know, people cope with certain things in a different way, right? And we're not called to judge these things. You know, we have to be there for one another. And that situation wasn't written at that time, but it was in my mind. Throughout my service as a police officer, we deal with situations such as, you know, people who are raising the children of their own. We're just struggling to get by. You know, and many of us that have everything that we need, we don't necessarily see these things that happen behind closed doors. And Take a Stand was written based on these kind of situations, based on the homeless veteran that I dealt with back earlier in my service. But it also is to do with, you know, those single parents out there that are really struggling to make ends meet. Being a mentor for these youth, these kids out there that don't have necessarily a appropriate father figure in their life. And so I just ended up writing a version of it, and then I ended up connecting with the Veterans Association Food Bank out of Calgary and Edmonton, and became their ambassador. And I just played this song for them this past year, and they wanted this as their song for their organization. Great organization. We're doing a lot of good for the veterans and their families as well. So my good friend Dave Peterson, who I write with up here in Canada, we sat down, we kind of ripped the song apart, and we made it even that much better. It was recorded at MC Studios, and that was a song that it really affected and spoke to a lot of real issues that we see and experience in this world. So I really hope that it's a song that will reach the right ears, will give hope, and also encourage other people to really take a stand, you know, for other people that they don't know. Whether it's, you know, maybe purchasing some groceries for a family in need. Maybe it's buying that bike for that little boy or that little girl who needs that, and they just don't have those kind of things in their life. We're put in positions where now we can afford these things, and other people can't. I had people in my life as a child that were those people for me. And that is primarily the reason why I do music now, and this is the reason why my message in my music speaks to these issues, because that's what I feel personally called to put out there, and I also try every day to practice what I preach.
You know, since we've been playing it, and we usually start off by playing stuff, not mentioning the artist or anything about it, just play it. We've had a huge reaction for Take a Stand, much like I'll Never Give Up. Now, believe me, I'll Never Give Up, we've only been playing it a little while, I've got to be honest, but we have had a huge response to it. Tell me a little bit about this. How did you come to the lyrics of that?
I went through my own struggle with my life that led me back to music. My friend Dave Peterson wrote that song, I'll Never Give Up. He pitched it to me knowing my story. There's always going to be people in our life that say you can't do something or you won't amount to something. You never do things to prove you're really wrong. You do it for yourself. When I was younger, there was a few people in my life that said, you know what, Stirling, you're going to become a police officer at such a young age. I actually did try to prove them wrong. And I did get into the police force at 19 years old. And I turned 20 in the police academy. Was I young? Yes, absolutely. But man, did it ever make you grow up quickly too. I feel and I see and I witness this daily where, we live in a day and age where a lot of our youth are being told that they're not good enough, or subliminally they hear from our social media that they aren't good enough because, it's especially hard on young girls now these days. They have to amount and they have to live up to a certain work. They have to be a certain way, they're popular enough, all these things. And this is really what that song is about. Regardless of the people in your life that say you can't do something or you won't do something, you know what? Who cares about the naysayers? Do things for yourself, and life is always going to be an uphill climb, right? Nothing ever is easy getting there. But just believe in yourself, and you know what? There's lots of people who will support you along the way too.
Very, very cool. So, live here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined today by Stirling John, the man himself. I'll never give up. How you feeling, Stirling? You okay?
We're good, buddy.
Nice, nice. By the way, I ask everybody this, I really do. Are you a vegan?
No.
No, you're a meatologist like me?
I had ground beef for lunch.
Nice, nice. Look, the reason why I asked this is, have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
No.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Hi, Cheryl.
I'm just trying to figure out if they're made of real vegans or not.
Right? That's pretty good.
I used to be a stand-up comedian, I really did.
That's great.
Hey, listen, over the weekend I had a couple of friends that wanted to meet each other. They had never met each other before, but I knew both of them individually. So before I introduced them, I said to both of them separately, he's a bit deaf, speak up. In fact, give it a good, yell at him. It took them about 10 minutes to realise that I was an arsehole.
Yeah.
It's true. It's quite true. But having said that, Stirling, honest, one of them wanted to go and meet women that screamed in bed.
Yeah.
I took him to the maternity ward.
We've all been there.
Well, you're allowed to use every one of those if you want.
I'm sure he won't, not that one.
Well, he's going to go back through the video later and go, what was that joke he told me?
Sorry, Cheryl.
They do. Yeah, sorry, Cheryl. Cheryl's online
Yeah, he's
with
playing
us
up
at the
with him.
moment.
I'm sorry, Cheryl.
I'm playing up at the moment. Oh, good. Nice. Well, at least I'm playing up in front of a policeman. Yeah, I'm not going to ask him to show me his bracelets. Stop feeding him jokes, Grant. Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Cheryl?
Nothing
In
like...
fairness, Cheryl did say, Stirling, you need to smile. And I do smile all the time. I'm just smiling inside.
Of course.
Of
But
course.
you bring that out. So
Yeah, believe me. It's
There
like
you
me
go.
singing. You honestly, bro, you do not want me
No,
sing.
you
I
don't.
sing tenor or 12 miles away from anybody that can hear me.
that's good.
It's the truth, I do. The only thing that gets turned on in the shower is the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the singing stops. The wife comes in and throws stuff at me.
Oh, he's bad.
Well, it used to be really difficult. Once upon a time, you could have a shower with your cell phone and everything like that, but it would stuff up your cell phone. These days, you get waterproof ones. It's really boomer.
Galaxy
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Got to say hi to Cheryl as well. Nice to have you on board. And Sterling, I've got to ask you, literally, what made you want to sing? Why did you become a performer, a songwriter?
Because when I was younger, my mother raised me in a musical family. She put me on the stage at, I think I was about 5 years old. And I got up there and sang How Great Thou Art. And we sang as a family in festivals in Ontario, Canada. But as life happens and we grow up and we go our separate ways in career, that's really what happened. And that was kind of the end of an era for us at the time. My brothers went off to different provinces. I got shipped off to Alberta. And life happened, raised a family, and just focused more on career at that time. And music was always that part of me that I loved, mainly vocals. But as time went on, I came right back to it. It was more so at a hard time and a dark time in my life. And it was just really a safe place for me. I felt very alone going through that time in my life. And really I just ended up going and doing karaoke, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to get into the guitar playing side of things. And so I started really diving more into the guitar and really pushing myself to get into some very uncomfortable places in front of people by myself. And that's really where the journey really started with Stirling John music, because you learn so much along the way. There's people in the music industry that really mentored me, going right back to 2013-14, when I was very uncomfortable playing on my own in front of people. And, it really goes back to that. And it's just been a growth journey ever since. And the right people have come into my life and have really catapulted my music career. I don't think that this is anything to do with just Stirling John. This is to do with the people that listen to my music. This is the people that support my music. And these are the people that are also some of my writers and session players in the studio and producers and engineers. It is a community that comes together, and that's really helped me get to this point. And I will say, Cheryl, and I know she's listening, has been a very crucial part of that puzzle for me. I really do look forward to the future, because there's been so much growth in such a short amount of time. And I have so many amazing projects that are upcoming that I cannot wait to share that with everybody.
Now, at the same time, and love you, Cheryl, we really, really do. What were your influences? What shaped Stirling John? What made him the musician he is today?
Well, there's passions, like I love country music, but when you ask what shaped Stirling John, who he is today, it goes back to my mother. We were worked up in a home where, yes, we didn't have what we needed, but we had to work hard for these things. We had to work at a young age to help my mother make ends meet. But I can say that is really what shapes some of the success that we're seeing today, because none of this stuff is easy. You cannot expect to do things half-assed and succeed. You have to put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these things. You have to travel the distance. You have to put the time and energy into a 24-hour day, which was a 48-hour day. And I think that with that upbringing I had as a kid, it really gave myself the motivation, the energy to really push extra hard for this music. The other thing that's shaped who I am today is the people who have said, who haven't believed in me, who have life bring me down some dark roads back in 2014, 2013. Those diversions, those roads in my life that led me away from where I really wanted to go,
were actually the path that I needed to take, because I had other goals in my life. But I'm so glad that we had to go onto the beaten path to really find the proper highway that I was supposed to be on. And actually that leads me to one of the songs that is going to be upcoming this year. When I went through these dark times, one of the songs, the very first song I recorded and I wrote, was called Never Meant to Be. And it was really just a song about my realizations about a relationship that really affected me in so many ways, and it wasn't meant to be. But the interesting thing part that is, I was talking with Cheryl about a song that needs to be written for this upcoming album, and I wrote it with my friend Peterson, and it's actually called Where I'm Meant to Be, because it really shows a different chapter in my life from where my music started again at a dark time to where, there was growth that's happened, and now I realize where I'm meant to be with this music. So it's exciting, very exciting.
Now, Stirling, Rosalie from Cairns is asking, as the pandemic eases, are you looking now at getting back on stage? Are you looking at doing more gigs more often now?
100%, yeah. And we're looking very hopeful ahead for us. There's going to be an event I'll be participating in. It's a volunteer event for the Cure for Cancer charity. And it's going to be put on by Production World here, and there's going to be some phenomenal names that are coming at it. And Michael Crichton actually requested me to perform with my band at the Cure for Cancer. So, of course, I'm going to say yes. So that's going to be in March. I believe it's March 25th. I'll be performing there. And it's going to be an opportunity to raise money for cancer research. We'll be opening up I'll be singing the Canadian anthem here at a Pack Saints game. It's called Battle for the Badger. That's on February 26th here in Spruce Grove, Alberta. And it's going to be a 50-50 draw there. It's going to be the Spruce Grove Fire Department with the RCMP playing hockey against the Spruce Grove hockey team here. So there's lots of opportunities upcoming, and some more coming down by Calgary later on this year.
You know, I understand. And hockey, which is pretty much your national sport, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Hockey and those things.
You guys have that, love-hate thing going on with Americans that do it as well, don't you?
I'll be honest, I never really got into hockey much. Music is my thing, But music does go hand in hand with hockey, right? Because we all got to start it off with the anthem, right?
Well, this is true. I mean, our national sport here in New Zealand is actually rugby union. And we have the same sort of relationship with Australia, you know what I mean? So, we love Australians, just we love them over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, believe me, I get that, I really do. And, I heard your most famous hockey player these days is making wine.
Connor McDavid?
No. No.
Just have people in the music industry are making, they have their own ales and their beers and stuff, eh?
Yeah, this is true too, which is really, really cool. Unless you come from certain parts of America where you're not allowed to make anything at all.
You're thinking Wayne Gretzky.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, of course, didn't he get Tiger Woods a little drunk? And of course, look what happened.
Yeah, you know what though? I would really argue that Connor McDavid might be one of the best hockey players of all time. That guy is he's a rocket.
Okay. Believe me.
He's one of the best right now, but I mean, Wayne Gretzky's is a legend, right?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And believe me, I think he's a national treasure, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And of course, I would liken your other fella there to maybe Peyton Manning in the United States with the American Gridiron and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Very, very talented man in his own. It's not often that you get a standout artist much like these guys. And I've got to say to you, my friend, I think you're up there in that caliber in the music industry, just poised, ready to make the big time. Now, tell me something. Would you give up being a police officer if you did make the big time?
100%. My thing here is being a police officer and doing music has been, and I've had a lot of support from the police force on this. It is a great way to bridge the gap between police and the communities that we serve. We get involved with our communities to proper mentor our youth within many of our First Nations reserves up here, right? And even after I retire, I do plan to continue working on reserves and act in more of a leadership and mentorship role for our youth. It's not just about music. It is an awesome platform to really affect change within our communities. So I think, and I said this to Shirley before, I do not do music to get famous. I do not care about fame. And I think that the moment that you really focus on that, you're going down a dead-end road. Humility is huge. Being humble is one of the most important things. I believe that if we do what's on our heart and we lead in that regard for the right reasons, great things can happen. So that's my motto, and I'm going to continue to go down that road. So.
Now tell me, Stirling, because I literally play you in my car. Got to be honest, I got a kick-ass stereo in my car, but I go to work every morning, come home listening to Stirling John, and I want to know a little something about this particular track, because not only is it fast becoming one of my favourites, I want to know how the lyrics came to this. Tell me about Record Time.
So actually, that's a song that was written by 3 artists in Nashville. Aaron Goodman was one of the writers, and that was kind of like, I wrote Never Meant to Be, and then I wanted to write a rocker tune, and this is a song that really spoke to me. I'm like, it was a relationship that I needed to get over in my life, and I'll be over you in record time. And it's such a catchy tune. Between a needle and a 45, I'll be over you in record time. I just love the way that song was written, and I pitched it from Nashville, and I got to record this song. So that's really the story behind it. There's really not much more of a story. It was just, I was going through a divorce in my life at the time, and it was just one of those more, just get back on the saddle and ride again sort of songs, right?
Well, I tell you what, so far since we've been playing it, and believe me, a lot of people have responded. 1,592 have requested it since we've been playing it, literally, and it's climbing, it really is. So, joining us live is Stirling John here at Galaxy Record Time.
Hey!
1592, that's not bad. Kaylee Amanda is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Kaylee. Very, very cool. By the way, Stirling, do you know a guy called Cole Malone?
Sorry, say again? Cole Malone? Yes.
Yeah, he said to me a wee while ago, he says, I see you're going to catch up with Stirling. I said, yeah. He goes, lovely man.
That's awesome. One Man Army. That's a great song, eh?
Isn't it? Isn't it? Believe me, we play it almost every other day here, to be honest with you.
Every day we play it.
Yeah, well, no,
And
not
start
every
our
day.
breakfast show.
It's Cole starts our breakfast show, but we have 4 or 5 songs that we play. Are you able to do me a favour?
Sure.
Next time you're in a recordable, or near a recordable 58, how would you like to do me a voice drop saying, hi, this is Stirling John, and you can hear me on Galaxy 107fm?
100%. We'll do that up for you.
Awesome, because I want to keep you rolling here at Galaxy. The more they hear your name, the more they hear your music, the more they go and have a look. And believe me, I want to talk to you about a website and stuff like that, where we can direct our audio audience to go and buy your products and stuff like that. If you've got one, please let me know, because I really want to do that. Having said that, I would like to introduce you to a friend of mine out of India. He's in a region of about 8 million people, and to be honest, Stirling, I think he knows each and every one by first name. You know what I mean? Very,
We can
very
talk
popular
about
man.
it after.
But he has this magazine that is on the move right now. I reckon it's going to be the next Rolling Stone. And we do an article in there. I would love to be able to get Barbara to introduce you to him, to get you into his magazine. Would you mind?
Yeah, absolutely. We can absolutely do that.
Brilliant, brilliant. Of course, we'll work with Cheryl with that as well.
Yeah, I'll just do a group thing, Cheryl.
Do a
Sterling,
group thing.
myself, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because believe me, he does a fantastic job, and I'll get Barbara to send you a couple of copies of past issues that we've done with him. You'll see what I mean when you read them. They're fantastic. Including, I'm not sure, do you know Dave Evans? He was the founder and the former first lead singer of the band AC/DC.
I know the band. I don't, well, obviously personally know Dave Evans, but great band.
Would you like to meet him? We can introduce you. He's a good friend of ours. But we put him in the magazine. Same with Steve Lynch, the lead guitarist from the band Autograph.
I'll do that for you.
Way back in
Nice.
the day. Turn up the radio if you remember that one. Better do this.
Oh, he's running out of time.
Running out of time. What do you mean that was tight? No, that was completely under control. I know what I'm doing. I really do. Nice to have everybody along. And if you're going to watch this a little later on over there on YouTube, folks, don't forget, sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell notifications for when we have important people like Stirling John coming for an interview. Believe me, you're going to love Stirling. Now, Stirling, I was just talking to you about a website. Now, do you have a website? Can we get people to be able to come, buy music, buy maybe t-shirts, koozies, caps, guitar picks, stuff like that? Where can we direct these people to go?
Yeah, you bet. Right now, we got some new merchandise in but we do have a website, www.johncountrymusic.com, and I upload all my video music as well to there and bios about the artist. So you can come find me on that. But I do look forward to getting some work over the next couple of months.
Absolutely, Brett. I tell you what, at some stage, how would you like to shoot me maybe a t-shirt or something? Today I'm actually wearing Everclear. We did a concert with these guys a number of years ago. But normally I'm wearing some artists other than these guys. Believe me, they've made it. They can make enough money by themselves. But I like to promote other artists, indie artists, stuff like that. While we're doing these interviews, and you'll be surprised how many people go on the interwebby thing, go and find out exactly who I'm wearing, and before you know it, they've made sales across the board. They're buying the music, they're buying the koozies, they're buying the caps, the guitar picks, toothpicks, whatever. They're getting hold of it. So subliminally, if you ever get some merch, send me a little something. I'd be more than honoured to be able to do these interviews and promote you subliminally. Now, at the same time, I was talking to you about Lazy Indie Magazine, which you're going to find fantastic, but are you familiar with the Galaxy page?
I am, yeah.
Advertise on there. Free of charge, believe me. Nobody wants any money from you, my friend. It's all about promoting you, your music. It doesn't matter if you're going to a concert, writing a new song, you're bringing out a new logo, or going to the opening of a shoebox, really. People want to know and they want to follow you, and believe me, with the response that we get from our audio audience about Stirling John, it would be remiss of me to say to you, please don't go in there. Go, advertise across the board, get funky with it, please, because everybody looks, and there's all sorts of people, from promoters, venue owners, common day people like myself, that go and have a look, follow certain artists. Believe me, they're all in there. Would love to have you in there. Will you do that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Can do that.
Awesome. And Barbara will keep an eye out for that and approve it, won't you?
You're from Cheryl.
Definitely, absolutely.
Cheryl's.
Kaylee Amanda is joining us. JohnCountryMusic.com. Yeah, nice.
She asked a question
Very nice.
up there.
Stirling John Music on socials. There you go. I've got to read the rest of it. There it is.
Down, up.
It won't go any further.
No, she asked a question. That's Cheryl's.
Oh, she asked a question. Hook me up.
No, when you go.
Oh, okay.
Do you get?
Do you get nervous when you go into studio to record? No, I never do.
What about?
Oh, you mean okay. Sterling, Kaylee asked, do you get nervous when you go into a studio to record?
Absolutely not. No, it's exciting. I really love going to the studio. It's like Christmas is what it's like. Because you're making art. It's super busy though too. So we don't have time to get nervous. I shoot a lot of video when I'm in the studio. So I'll lay down some vocals and jump on the cameras right away. And then the band does all their recording. And then I lay the proper vocals after that. And it's a lot of fun. So I have a job, it's an important job to capture the moments at the studio with my cameras. And so, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm an engineer myself, and believe me, I'm not only a front of house engineer, but a studio engineer as well. Been doing it for almost 40 years now. That's why I said, no, I'm kind of comfortable being in a recording studio, no worries. And sometimes I think the artists that come in to record with me, they're more afraid of me than they are of doing their own job sometimes. You never know. But it's all a growth thing about creation of the music, isn't it? Sometimes the engineer has, one or two things to say as well. Doesn't always go down the right way, I've got to be honest. It really doesn't. But we make music, we really do. Now, having said that, are you thinking of doing touring anytime soon? Are you looking at, and I know you've been to Nashville, but are you looking at expanding maybe just a little bit further in the world?
Yeah, I have a plan that is in the works. I'm hoping for around 2022. And we're not going to go into too much detail about it yet, but we do have a plan for the upcoming album.
Dione from Scotland is asking, would you consider maybe doing a tour to the UK?
You know what? If you guys give us the numbers over there, absolutely. We'd love to travel.
Very cool. Well, having said that, would you consider maybe, just maybe, coming down to the Antipodes down here to New Zealand and maybe doing a few concerts down here?
Yeah. You know what? We're talking to a guy who once flew around the world to Dubai with 4-hour notice. So I don't mind going the distance,
That's coming up. That's coming up.
1,000 miles is 10,000 miles, so...
Very, very cool. Well, we could bring you and Brandon down together, you know what I mean? We've actually spoken to Brandon about coming down here as it is, but I've got to be honest with you, we're a little crazy down here, my friend.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're completely off the hook, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, literally. You never know what you might end up doing. Literally, have you ever heard of Queenstown?
I have not.
Okay, now I don't mean Queensland. That's in Australia where, men wear dresses and high heels and handbags. That's Queenstown. Queensland. Queenstown is a little boutique kind of, it's where all the A-listers like to go and get away from the paparazzi and everybody like that, go and hide away. And it's a little town that wants to be a city. You never know who you might run into. I mean, prior to the pandemic thing that we had here in New Zealand, we had Kevin Costner, Shania Twain owns property down there, and I know you know a guy that used to play for her.
Sorry, say that last part?
I know you know a guy who used to play guitar for Shania Twain.
Okay.
Believe me, I know this. I really do. He told me. But Shania Twain owns property down there. Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, they all kind of go there, get away from, and take the significant other and have a bit of fun. So you never know who you might run into. But I've got to be honest, Sterling, you don't want to run into me down there.
I can handle it.
Well, I might throw you off a bridge.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. I think we can do this.
Yeah, believe me, we have a thing down there called bungee jumping.
There you go.
And you're not Australian, so we'll attach the bungee.
Really?
There's a place down there called the Shotover River. Now, this place is fantastic. It's got sheer walls everywhere. One of the wildest rivers you're ever likely to meet. And they have these huge jet boats down there going down the Shotover River. They turn these things inside out, upside down, all around. The one thing they can guarantee you to, Stirling, believe me, this is absolutely accurate, is you won't spill a drop of your beer.
That's good.
Most people say, why not? Well, we here in New Zealand, we're civilised, we have lids.
Yeah.
Kind of works that way, doesn't it? Hello, if Brandon and Stirling go, the rest of the team need to come. Kaylee says, I think this is mandatory now, Stirling, so we better start looking at how many seats we're going to put on there, because believe me, I would love to have Kaylee join us as well. Absolutely. Sounds like she is an absolute darling to bring along. Have a bit of fun. Have you ever heard of a Zorb?
No, I haven't.
Well, I tell you what, we can put Kaylee in this because, believe me, I think alcohol is primarily involved in this. We really need to get that in.
No drinking inside.
It's a big round plastic ball. Now, don't worry, we'll supply the bikini or the mankini. Believe me, we've got a number of these things, and you know, if you've got a mankini, a Galaxy one, think about where we put the logo. That's your first challenge. But literally what we do is you have a few drinks, pop you in this big plastic ball and roll you down a hill. And we put some runners in front of you. It's like Skittles, human Skittles, stuff like that. Why alcohol? Simply because when you run over them, the looks on their faces is priceless. It really is. And we'll put Kaylee in there as well. See if she can take photos as she's doing it. That's a challenge, it really is. Now, having said that, have you ever heard of Lord of the Rings?
I have, yeah.
Okay, Peter Jackson, by the way, would you believe he's now a billionaire? I used to go to university with Peter Jackson. Believe me, I can't call him Sir Peter because I remember what he was like when he was drunk. You know what I mean? Back in the day. And he's brought out some fantastic movies in the past. But, you know, congratulations to Sir Peter. I know why he's a billionaire now. He was a tight ass back then. He was. Yeah, he wouldn't buy a beer, but he'd drink yours, no worries. Having said that, about an hour and a half away from where we are right now is actually Middle Earth. You know, when you very first see the very first opening of the Lord of the Rings, it's the Hobbit town.
Okay.
Yep. Take you there. Believe me, you'll have some fun there. We'll be able to show you around. It all is exactly the way it looks. It really, really is. Fantastic place to go. But unfortunately, the staff will have to take you. I'm not allowed back in.
I want to go over a flight from Canada to New Zealand.
I'm
How
sorry.
many hours is
Oh,
How
well.
many hours?
That's a good question.
At least 24 hours.
At least 24 hours, apparently.
If you have stopovers more.
Yeah. Longer if you're not flapping hard enough.
Well, apparently you don't see how famous our Canadian whisker then.
Well, you know, me, I just need a backwind for everything.
Yeah. We were funny enough. Flying the other day, we were hitting an 80 knot headwind. It was pretty tough. Yeah.
You wouldn't be going too forward too fast, would you? You'd be blowing you backwards.
Yeah, you're burning lots of fuel when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I actually do have a rotor license. I know what it's like to fly a helicopter, and that's why I was interested in talking to you about these things, because I'm a big aviation fan myself. Do you do skydiving?
Funny story about that. I actually paid for my skydiving a couple of years back, and I had actually had a surgery, and I couldn't go on it. Lucky enough, I didn't want to go.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I gave it to me to use. So yeah.
Okay. I'm a very accomplished skydiver. In fact, I work with the local airport every now and again. Some tourists want to dive out of a perfectly good aeroplane. More than happy to give them a go. I really am. But Do you know why blind people don't skydive?
Why's that?
Scares the shit out of the dogs.
You are quite a comedian.
Yeah. It just happens that way, it really does. Weight of the Call. Tell me about this, because I'm very, very interested in this track.
Sorry, say again, which track is this?
The Weight of the Call.
Yeah. That song is a deep one for me. It goes back to, let me plug this in here, I'm almost losing battery life. It goes back to a time in my career where I was responding to a call, and it just didn't really matter how fast I went to that call. It just wasn't fast enough, and there was a call where you really took it very personally because of the age of this victim, and what you have to look after the fact. So it speaks to those calls that, first responders, not just police officers, but first responders deal with after the fact, whether it's a paramedic, firefighter, even doctors and nurses and police, what they take home with them after the fact. And initially after traumatic situations, you don't really think too much of it because you're on to the next call. You don't really have a chance to decompress. And that's really what it's about, and also it speaks to our current situation with our lack of support that's out there from the public at times. So yeah, it was a very deep call, and I just wanted to put that song out there for our first responders, to let them know that there is people that get it, they understand, and if it's a way that we can somewhat educate the ones that don't necessarily understand, then that was the reason for that song.
Very cool. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by the man himself, yes, Stirling John. Here is Weight of the Call.
433, 433, see the man, 415, roof house for gang activity, 4th and Bonda Vista. Yes, something there now.
Damn, it's hot in here. Can we have some Kiwi air conditioning?
Done.
I've already done. What's the temperature where you are, Stirling?
It's 3.5 degrees Celsius today.
Ooh, no thanks. We're at 30 degrees Celsius.
Ooh, I was going to be running down the river valley in my shorts today. 3.5 degrees is balmy.
No, thank you. Yeah, bugger that. I'm sorry. If it gets down to 3 degrees, we've got the heaters on in here, don't we?
Yes, even under 10.
We got to add an extra 10 in here because of all the computers and stuff. It gets hot in here, it really does. And I was asking the bosses prior to coming into summertime for a fan, and they said, what sort of fan do you want? And I went, I don't know, 6 foot tall, blonde, blue-eyed, Swedish, about 18 years of age. She can sit there and do this, sit me all day. They got me a damn gold ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal fan, electric fan.
Yeah. I said that to Kevin Fye earlier on, and his wife Jill says to me, oh, hello Jill. Yeah, she says to me, oh, okay. You should have gone to the top. I says, I did, but the wife's the boss. She said, no fan. I got a gold ear. Summer here, it gets to 45 degrees. Yeah, I know, Jill. I really do. But I also know in the wintertime it gets damn cold as well. You can have that. I don't like snow.
No.
I hate snow. Where we are, we're the first to see the light of day every day.
Right.
That's why we say we like to play tomorrow's music today, because most of the time when we're playing it, you guys are yesterday. You know what I mean? There's a hook to that, it really is. But at the same time, where we are, we're in the east coast of the North Island. If you know anything about New Zealand, we're made of 3 islands. Right down the bottom, we have a little one. The only island in New Zealand, the only part of New Zealand that got a real name. It's called Stewart. Because whoever named New Zealand after that, they ran out of imagination, called the next island South.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, guess where we are? We're in the north. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant planning. Let's call it North Island. Literally. But I'm the type of guy that wants to rename the moon. I am.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
if you notice, they're finding new planets, new moons and everything on a daily basis pretty much these days. And these scientists have the gall to go ahead and name them without even asking the residents, can we name your planet? So, but our moon is still called Moon. Yay. Hello.
He's
He's
on
on the
hold.
hold.
The weight of the call.
I want to call it Celestial Body Brian.
What's that, sorry?
I want to call it Celestial Body Brian.
The moon.
Hey, it would look good on a check, wouldn't you think?
They don't do checks anymore. That's old fashioned.
Yeah.
107
I don't know. Is it old-fashioned still to have checks?
You don't get them.
You don't get them anymore? What about in America? Don't they still have
Yeah, they
checks?
still do.
Yeah, they do. I'm sure of it. We're sort of working towards a cashless society.
We
What about America? Just dealing with tips and stuff like that. That's scary for them guys. It really is. Having said that, and believe me, we're joined today by, of course, Stirling John, coming out of Canada. Yes, and well, you know, he's one of the most requested artists here at Galaxy. It is an absolute honour to have him here joining us. Now, Stirling, at the same time, all of this, while this is this pandemic thing's been going on, have you been finding yourself writing more and recording more?
Definitely recording a lot. You know, the way that the industry has gone is a lot of artists are really pushing out a lot of singles. And, you know, doing this album is kind of against the grain, you could say, because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of albums being put out now these days. I just wanted a way to put out a lot of great songs at once, because if you put out singles, you know, you have to give time to get them to breathe, you know, and really grow. And usually it's about one single a quarter every 4 months. So, yeah, no, doing this album is really kind of out of the norm, I think, for a lot of artists right now. But I just wanted to do it and get her done.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I've become a very big fan of yours since I started listening to music. As I said, I'm an engineer, have been for many, many years, and it's not often that I find a band that really, really takes my imagination, much like your music does. And believe me, I've got to give props to your engineers and your producers, whoever's mastering your music as well. They are absolutely on the ball. They really, really are. Now, you did say that you wouldn't mind coming to New Zealand and doing a few concerts here. We could even... Hello, somebody's in the background. Who's that?
I'm going to introduce you right away. This is yours truly, Dave Peterson.
Hi,
In fact,
Dave.
he is the writer of many of these songs. You know, for instance, Young Love and that song Believe. This guy is an incredible writer. You know, and that's a whole other story as to how we met, but incredible dude.
Nice. And I think I saw him in a particular video you did while you were doing a recording.
Yeah, you would have seen Dave as the singer as well in Young Love.
Yeah, that's the one. Absolutely. And Dave, good skills. Nice.
Oh yeah, no, he's incredible.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Dave. It really, really is. Having said that, we were just discussing about coming to New Zealand and playing here in New Zealand audiences. Maybe even, let's make it worthwhile, we'll take you over to Australia as well. Do a few over there, only because we like their money, right? But you mentioned that you would like to go the distance. So tell me about the distance.
So The Distance was a song written back in 2019, in January. And I just went on a trip down to Mexico with my buddies, and I couldn't really write too much that time. And it was a song that ended up just kind of in the computer. When I got back, I wasn't going to really record it. And I was deployed off to Manitoba a couple months later. And it it was just more so myself being away from my kids at that time that, you know, I just wanted to get back and see them, be with them, and I was just so far away. And I just felt like it could be a story between, it could be a love story between, you know, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or it could be a story between a parent to their kids. Because there really isn't anywhere we wouldn't go for our family, the ones we love. And I came back and recorded that at MCC Studios in Calgary. And they just did an incredible stand-up job on the production quality of that song. So it's just, that's the story behind that song.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Stirling. 3,383 requests to date since we've been playing it. That's a phenomenal score. It really is. Everybody seems to be, well, if not connecting to it, finding something in it that they can relate to. So I got to applaud you for that. It really, really is. And I can't wait to be able to see what you come up with next. But right now, here is the most requested Stirling John song here at Galaxy, The Distance. That's phenomenal. 3,383 tracks, requests for it.
That's great, eh?
We've got artists that we've known for 7-8 years that haven't even got past 1,000. You know what I mean? So believe me, Stirling, whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. You know, it goes back to Dave. This guy here, just incredible. You know, I met him actually back several years ago on Kijiji, which is it's actually like a buy and sell website, and you can advertise, you know, for bands as well on there too. And that's how we met.
Okay. Well, Dave, nice to meet you, my friend. And believe me, I've seen the video. I was watching you intently because I'm an engineer. I like to look at other people's gear and how they record and stuff like that. So I was very impressed. Well done. We're going to wrap this up after this, my friend, but please don't go anywhere because we do take a few photos, bits and pieces. Barbara makes this whole deal into a movie as well. You'll get a copy of everything we do, okay? And believe me, have you ever been a cartoon before?
A cartoon? Yes, I have actually.
Nice. What about you, Dave? Ever been a cartoon?
I've never, no.
Oh God, you're going to be now, I tell you. You really are. Because we do the movie and then we do the exact same movie again in cartoon form. So you'll get a copy of that as well. And I apologise now for the photos, okay?
It's all good.
Hey, I'm Mr. Bean of the radio. So I've been told. Literally.
Yeah.
I have been. Somebody accused me of that the other day. By the way, Stirling, I got a friend of mine who's legally blind, and this is real, right? And she's standing outside of the supermarket the other day, and I said to her, "What's the matter?" Because she looked really worried, and she goes, "What's the most scariest thing a blind person could ever read?" And I went, "What, by braille?" She goes, "Yeah, by braille." I went, "I don't know." And she goes, "Don't touch."
It's gooder.
But it really happened. That's the weird thing about it. Let's go back to the desk. Stirling, we'll wrap this up, but please don't go anywhere.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Let me do this.
Galaxy
And I want to thank everybody that joined us this morning on YouTube and Facebook and everything like that. Thank you so much for joining us. Especially, I got to thank Stirling John for taking the time out It has been a bit of a mission getting this one underway, and first time was internet problems, I think, on our side. Today we managed to achieve it. Now, only got one major question left for Stirling, and that is, will you come back again?
Absolutely. Anytime you need me, I'm here.
Awesome.
Granted, I'm not working, right? But yeah, we can do this definitely again.
Absolutely brilliant, because we would love to be able to continue the relationship we have. Also, we'd love to be able to release new music. So if you've got some more new stuff coming in the near future, will you please pass it through to us? We would be very, very honoured to be able to play Stirling John continuously here at Galaxy.
Absolutely. I really appreciate your support over the last year, and it means a lot to me as an artist. And it's people like you that really help us get our music out there. So, thank you.
It is an absolute pleasure, my friend, and I really stand by the statement. I don't think it's going to be too far away before you really hit that big time. And believe me, I can see the talent a mile away as an engineer, as a DJ, as a radio announcer, and, well, maybe even a host. I think Stirling John is poised to make the red carpet sometime real soon. And Cheryl, you're doing a wonderful job. You really, really are. Keep it up. Stirling John, Brandon Lorenzo, killer combination right there. In the meantime, have a very happy and successful day, and got to say thank you to Rise Up TV, Big Record, and of course Sony Music, The Orchard, right here at Galaxy. Stirling, don't go anywhere, but in the meantime, let's go back to the other studio. You're right here at Galaxy. Good morning.
107 Calvert.
No, hold on. I'm gonna open it, okay? Just...
It's been 2 months.
Just give me 2 weeks and I'll make a payment. You can't.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I have kids.
I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you feel that pain when you passed by? The homeless man holding out a sign. You see his clothes are stained, but you don't know he fought for freedom years ago. Can you see through his eyes and bring a light to this endless night? Let's love one another. We are all in this together. When the time comes to give a helping hand, give love and take a stand. How to pay those bills and raise 3 boys. Single mother struggles to survive. Yeah, she's tough as nails, but behind closed doors, she's on her knees crying to the Lord. Can you see through her eyes and bring the light to this endless night? Let's love one another. We are all in this together. When the time comes to give a helping hand, give love and take a stand. us together. When the time comes to give a helping hand, give love. Let's love one another. We are all in this together. When the time comes to give a helping hand, give love and take a stand. Give love and take a stand.